Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3 of the Skool series. I've got some really good news to share with you guys. So we have achieved two major milestones within these few days, this short period, because the last catch up with the previous episode, I think we have covered until 11 November. So in today's episode, I want to continue and share with you what happened between 12 and 16 November. And as you can see here, we've hit these two major milestones, 2K MRR and 10K revenue. You can see at the top here as well. So I'll start the episode by just sharing the numbers inside the group. So this is basically the free group. We have about 4,000 visitors in the last 7 days, and then 300 plus members joined. So about this number, basically I didn't accept a lot of people. We have a lot of people is still like pending, and we didn't accept them. We try to maintain a quality of the free group and not just let everybody in. But then at the same time, right, I know that there are some members who join in the free group that they will never buy whatever I have in the paid group, right? Maybe they are in third world country or whatever that they wouldn't even afford. But then I think it's fine, right? Because of like several reasons. Number one, I really wish that they have the opportunity to learn, because it's kind of sad as well, because I come from third world country as well. So I kind of know that, it's hard sometimes for people. They couldn't afford the education. They couldn't afford whatever ticket of price that you're selling. But then they're eager to learn and change their life. So I have this sort of empathy for that as well. So that's the first thing. And second thing is that sometimes you need, like they help in other ways as well, right? For example, they couldn't buy whatever you sell in a paid, but then they can contribute in terms of activity, engagement, supporting members, the morale of the group. Like they have so many benefits as well. And so like they play different role, right? So that's another understanding that I have for myself as well when it comes to accepting them, even knowing that they might not be a good prospect, right? I still let them into a free group because of these two major reasons. So we could have definitely more numbers in there, or we could have way lesser than that, right? So I try to find a good balance of like striking, the quality leads that could go into paid, and tier 1 country, right? Basically, and also people who are eager to learn and also could benefit in the program, and also help us in other ways as well, like to strike a balance basically to this number. So that's the roughly the same kind of average that we are getting here. So if you look at our let's see, free members, right? Okay, so free members, roughly we are growing, that it's quite steady, right? It's quite stable growth. And also you can see the visitors, right, of the free group, and then the members that we're getting is roughly around 300 plus, every 7 days, right? Around 300 members every 7 days. So we kind of keep this cadence going on, and then we will see how it goes, right? If we ramp up this thing, because I have another major thing I want to share with you, which is a problem with having a free group, which is scammers, right? So I want to address that and talk about that later on. It's a big thing. So that's basically the free group. And also let's see what else, right? The metrics. Okay, so we have been growing steadily. So right now it's at 53% members are active, and then we have been growing like pretty fast, right? Ever since we have like turned this into a free group, and then just like growing roughly 300 members a day. And then the activity is like it's improving compared to all the previous ones. As you can see here, is like more activity in these last two columns. And then let's look at discovery, which is something really huge as well. Our rank is that we keep on climbing the rank every single day, right? It's like daily. So if you look at the free group, right, we track the ranking as well. So we're starting from the day I started to track, right, is where Skool changes the algorithm for discovery as well. So we go from a 200 something into right now it's like 146, right? So our next goal is to be the top 100 in the business category. And then for the paid group, it's rising as well, right? From 800 when we start until right now it's at 300. So it's like we climbing up the rank pretty fast. So this is like the metrics as well. And then let's look at the paid group. So right here, 59 members, because we have some churn and some refund as well. I want to talk about that later part of this episode. So this is a net member right now, 59. And then the MRR like crossed 2K, almost 3K now, which is good. And then we're kind of on track, right, to hit our goal as well for this month. And then the visitors around 1,000 plus, and then 27 sign up around close to 2%. And then let's look at the metrics here. So it's growing pretty fast. Okay, it's like exponentially. And so the activity is like pretty good as well. And then finally, which is a discovery here, which is like 300 something. So again, like just a quick overview, right? For the rank, both groups are growing pretty fast. The free group are growing slower because as you go higher, right, it's harder for you to climb. So basically the top 10%, right? It's like super hard compared to the rest of the rest 90%. So this is still a lot of room to grow. I think we could grow pretty fast, even up until 200 or 100 something rank. And then as I think if I approach 100 something, I think it's harder for me to continue climbing. So we'll see how it goes. So that's for the ranking. And then for the free group, so we have 1,400 people here right now. So like one thing I want to address is just scammer issue, and I think they're pretty ninja about it. So we do set up the plugins which has only allowed them to DM on level 2. So what they do, right, they're very sneaky, is that they will use VPN to change the IP address to maybe US, Australia, whatever. They'll change to tier 1 country, and chances are they are in some sort of Nigeria or something. So some sort of Nigerian prince, and then they use VPN to change the IP address to tier 1 country. So they slip in, and then they will try to make posts and get the likes and level up to level 2, and then they start spamming and scamming people in the DM. So there are different patterns, right? Number one is a typical, I will show you how to turn $250 to $6,000, right? And then click this WhatsApp link or something. So that's like a very common pattern that I see in many different groups. And secondly is that they are very specific in your niche. For example, I teach people how to start a YouTube channel, right? So they'll be saying that like Branson is method doesn't work. I pay him $2,000, he scam my money, and then you have to listen to my mentor Tommy. So my mentor Tommy make 13,000 a week from YouTube. So we'll do the service for you, whatever. Just have to pay me 300, something like that, right? And then they're like, oh, join our Telegram group, right? And they'll show like different links to different channels that they claim they built, but then chances are they just like randomly throwing out there, and then they basically will defame the channel owner. They'll like ruin their name, plus they funnel that to channel that into their scam product, whatever, to buy into something that's relevant to the niche, right? So let's say you're an e-commerce niche, maybe they'll say that the owner's Shopify thing doesn't work. Come on, we help you to build a Shopify store, right? Maybe you teach people how to be a speaker, whatever. Then they'll say like, oh, the speaker is a scam, the owner is a scam, so I'll teach you like how to speak in our like quote unquote Telegram, whatever, right? So they will be niche specific. So the second thing I found. And so the third thing would be I think that they're like the two major things, right? One is a general, like invest into my thing, and secondly would be like niche specific. And also they will most likely get people into like WhatsApp, Telegram. Yeah, basically that's a pattern. And then the sneaky part is that they change name, right? They change name often. So you see that they're level 2, and then sometimes, I asked the members to send me a screenshot, right? They send me, but then it's like when I found the name in a group, I couldn't find the name. So I don't even know like what's they might change the email, they might change the name. So it's very sneaky, right? It's very hard to do that. So I think moving forward, I think the most important thing is to the awareness and to educate your members, right? So I think it's very hard for us to stop, but then it's the best for, like, we'll try our best, right, to get people in, to like be more vigilant with the posts they make, right? Because they want to level up to level 2, right? So you also notice that the English level is kind of bad. So the way they write is very bad English. So you can spot that as well. And then they're like very, somewhat weird and fishy, right? So they might keep on commenting and like, oh, how are you doing? How are you doing? Like, how is the result? Like they're like, they'll do hard because they want to level up to level 2 fast, right? So bad English, they're trying real hard to like, trying out there, like commenting or something. So these are like the patterns. We could stop that way. We have to up our game as a channel. As a community admin. But then also I think it's very important for us to educate our free members to let them aware of that, the patterns, right? What are the patterns of the scam, right? For example, I tell you the 2 patterns just now. So I share with them. So the patterns, and then I ask them to report to me. And also I tell them the benefit, right? Because you are protecting our community, right? We are a community, you gotta like protect ourselves and then protect our hard-earned money. We don't want to get scammed. We want to protect other members. So if you share, you are literally saving other members, right? You are protecting us. So we want to, like gather the effort, as a group, to protect our group, right? So not just like it's me, right? We want to put it as a group. We are protecting our group. You're saving someone else, right? That you wouldn't know. You're saving them. So share your screenshot, report to me, and then you educate them, right? And ask them to report to you. So I think that's a good part they will start doing and implementing and see how we can stop that. So that's the thing about having a free group, right? So you come with the problem and a headache of that. And seriously, it hurts the conversion a lot. Right, you wouldn't know, right? There might be people that, maybe they are interested in whatever you're doing, they join the free group, and then the scammers and literally just tell them, brainwash them, saying that, the group owner is a scam, whatever. So they drop the conversion that way. They ruin your name, they ruin your brand without the person engage with you first. So that's the first thing. And so secondly, even people who convert to your paid, right, they are customers, but then they go on and like, maybe they make them to regret the buying, right? So when people first join, they might be feeling a bit uncomfortable, right? They're not sure whether do they make the right decision, right? Buyer remorse is a real thing. And then they suddenly got hit by a scammer and saying that, oh, you can do this a better way. They can make $10,000 in a single day by doing nothing, right? Let us do the, whatever, my Tommy, quote unquote, Tommy mentor in Telegram, make 20,000 in a day, whatever, right? So they're like, oh, that's a better shiny object, right? They lose focus, maybe they get scammed in that way, and then they might thought they bought into the wrong thing, right? So they hurt their existing customer, they hurt the potential buyers, they're hurting the conversion, they're hurting, even though they buy enough thing, right? They hurt the experience of members, right? They join a group, they get spammed by people and spamming the links, join my WhatsApp, join my Telegram, like the overall experience is bad. Even though they don't buy whatever, right? Doesn't matter, they ruin my name, whatever, right? They're scamming people hard-earned money, which I'm super mad about it. And so secondly, they're like giving a bad experience to the members, right? So many bad ways, they are doing harm in the community, right? So there must be something, I believe that schools, something they have to do something about it, right? I'm sure they're figuring out consistently how to stop that. And so at the admin level, what we can do, and also how we can educate the members as well. So that is the headache that comes along with a free group. But again, there's so much benefit of the free group that we still gotta have it, right? I highly recommend you to have the free group. But that's the problem that we gotta deal with. So I think I break it down enough. So I'll share more like in the future how they evolve over time, because it's their full-time job to scam people, right? Every day they just sit down there, have a sip of coffee and think about how can I scam people. So our full-time job is to build a business. Their full-time job is to scam people. So we're chasing after them, right? So they always evolve. They try the better, more sneaky like ninja way. But then we have to level up as well. We have to catch up with them. So it's a ever evolving kind of thing. So I will update you guys, how the thing's going and how we are doing to stop that, right? To give a better experience to members, to also increase the conversion, build a business and so on. So that's a free group. A lot of things to cover. I'm not sure how many minutes of just talking about this topic, but it's super important. Like I just learned about it yesterday. Like people send me screenshots like, damn, they're like hurting the members, right? I'm super mad about it. So I think about like, how can I solve it? And I'll share with you guys, right? Maybe you don't even know, until this, right? Maybe they're like thousands of your members getting harmed by all these people that you as a channel, like a community admin, that you wouldn't even know yet, right? So I want you to have the awareness as well. So let's talk about the activity. So like we gotta, like one thing we notice, right? Which is the patterns here, like we have not much activity, but then during the webinar day, right? Which is we got like 500, 400 in the last week. It's a spike during the webinar day. And then it's kind of like go down. Okay, and then we got a huge spike as well. So I can kind of conclude, right, after 2 weeks of like observation, I can kind of conclude that the webinar day kind of like is the spike of the activity. And I think it's super important, right, for you to have some sort of like a weekly thing that's happening. So you give them a reason to come back, right? Or else they might join other groups, they might do something else, they're distracted. So like people will forever postpone on doing something. They'll give them a reason not to do something until you give them a reason to do, right? Whether it's like giving them a reason to buy by making a good offer, or giving them a reason to come back to a community, right? So be active, right? As a channel owner, be active, be engaged as yourself. So I just want to show you like, like if I go into my profile here, right? If I go into my profile, then you can see my activity here. So this is where before I started all this, right? And then as soon as like I started going all in, right? I started recording and tracking everything. So this is where you can see I got like this row here. I might be getting the fire streak very quickly. So as an owner, right? I think as a community admin, right? You gotta be active yourself, or else why should they? So I think that's the first thing. You gotta be, you gotta love what you're doing, right? You gotta be passionate about it. You gotta care. You gotta truly care about members so that you can be active, right? So it doesn't feel like a work, like you truly care. So you go in there, you have fun, you enjoy, you engage, you're helping people, supporting people. So I think that's very important. You gotta love what you're doing. You gotta have passion. You gotta truly care. I think the care part is huge, right? You gotta care whatever you do, and only then you can do it, or else you're gonna burn out. You're gonna quit. So I think that's a huge part that. First of all, you got to be active yourself. And secondly, you got to have some sort of reason for them to come in. Maybe some daily value post or something. And so secondly, which is like a weekly thing, right? For them to like come on back here to like hang out once a week. So that, people, they might be busy, right? They might not be in a community every single day, which is totally normal. It's totally fine. But then at least once a week or once a month, right? They come in here, they have a reason to come back here again. Maybe last 3 months they've been here, but then they're like busy, they lost their focus, they lost track. But then when you give them a reason, right? Sometimes they come back here this month after 3 months, right? Then they upgrade to a paid. So you gotta like stir the pot. You gotta like get them active to pull them back in, right? They might lose. So your job is to have some sort of weekly, monthly thing to pull that back in. And I think weekly webinar is like super important. So the activity is like through the roof, right? When we have the activity like the webinar thing. And also secondly, I have discovered like these two posts has been working significantly well for my group. You can try them out, which is like break the ice. So basically, I think I might have to like show you here inside the free group. So if I just search like break the ice, okay, so like it's this one. So basically this is what I do. I just like say break the ice time, and step one, like comment on this post, say hi, where are you from and why are you here? And step two, like and reply to 3 other people's comment, right? Important, please do, right? I write this because as people like they just comment but they didn't react to other people's comment. So I think the way I'm doing this is like, this is not like the light farming. This is not like an engagement farming kind of thing, right? Where it's like brainless to like just comment and just like you're farming the engagement. I don't think that's good. But then this one is super helpful because you want to give, again, you want to give them a reason to engage, right? So they might be hanging around, they're silent in one corner, they're too shy to like put in a step back, because you as a owner, you didn't provide them a platform to do something, right? You know, it's one thing that you just have a community tab that you're like, oh, do your own thing, right? Comment on your own. Like, people don't take action. So right now I'm providing a platform, an opportunity for them. Hey, I'm providing this post for you. This is a platform. Engage here. And I tell them the reason why, how to do it, the reason why, right? So I think, again, it all comes down to like giving them people a reason to do something, right? People wouldn't act until you give them a reason, whether it's like giving them a reason to buy, or giving them a reason to come back to community, or giving them a reason to comment and engage, right? You got to give them a reason. You got to give them an opportunity, a platform for them to, much easier to do so, right? Some sort of step-by-step instruction, tell them the benefit, make it easy for them, make it no-brainer for them, right? So for example, I tell them here's a benefit you'll get. You're going to form new connections, you're going to make new friends, right? You can level up fast, and then you can unlock different things in our, the level unlocks, right, in our classroom. So this is a benefit they'll get. So like I get 87 comments, right? So, and then there are like so many people that I've never seen them before. Like this is probably their first time posting, and I've never seen their name like surface in the community before, but they did it, right? So that just tells you that these give them an opportunity, like a permission to like, hey, I can do that. You know, I was a shy person, I'm introvert, I'm lurkers, but then thanks for giving like this opportunity for me to like, put out a comment. So I think this is super important. Again, the one word I would say, like, which is like the reason. Give them the reason to do something, give them the platform to do something. So this killing it, and also the goal for 2025, right? So I did something like 2025 or something. So what are your goals for 2025? Like, this works incredibly well. It's like 69 comments. And again, this is, like just now, right? They're just introducing themselves. They're making friends and making connections, right? Oh, you're from Canada. Oh, you're from US, right? They're connecting. But then this one is like they go deep. You give them the reason, right? The motivation behind. Maybe they want to like provide your family. Maybe they want to like replace a job income. They want to retire early, right? So by doing that, it reflects on their goal, and it reminds them why they're here doing what they want to do, right? It reminds them of the pain. Again, if there's no pain, there's no action. So by doing that, you encourage them to invest in your community, right? So it's a free group. Maybe they've joined 10, 20 different groups, but then, when they spend time to type in something really long, like, let me show you like what they type here. It's like something like really long when they share like my goal here, like the goals here, like they spend time like typing something. It's not just like a one word thing. Some people like they type in like something really long, right? And I just, like people like invest their time on like spend time on like typing out something. I think that's super valuable. And that, as the more they invest into spending time and like putting in effort to do something, for example, commenting and sharing, and go deep into sharing what they want to achieve, right? They have a deeper impression with your group. So for example, like people can buy the same, let's say the same controller from 3 different people. But why they buy from one? Because they trust you, you're genuine, they remember you. First of all, they got to remember you, right? A lot of times people forget about you, forget about what's your name, what's your group. So if they invest into more time of like, okay, I'm commenting, I'm engaging, I'm leveling up in the community, I have a deeper impression about you. I remember your name, right? So if in the future, when I want to buy something, I'll go to you. And also, it reminds them the pain of why they're here. So people, they might join your group, but they never take action. They never go through a classroom. They never engage. They never upgrade, because there's no deep enough pain, right? You're going to remind them of the pain. So it's one thing that you tell them, but another thing is that they share it themselves. So if they share it, they remember why they're here. And then they see other people having the same mission, same goal, right? So it just reinforces them that, we have other companion, other people who are in the same boat as them, right? So I think this is super huge. Not only that you get a lot of engagement, it's very deep thinking, they invested into like making a post, it helps them to take up the first step into making a post. And again, you gotta hit them at different angles, right? For example, just now we gotta break the ice, right? Some people, they pull the plug and like make the first comment there, and maybe some people, they pull the plug here, right? Maybe this is the first thing that they comment. So again, you gotta like try different things and test out different angles to provide different opportunity. And again, this is like a hook. This is like a, you run ads, you do a content, the first 10-second hook, right? The ads, you're gonna have a hook. This is the hook, right? You gotta throw different hook for people to pull up, they make the first commitment of like making the first post, the first comment, the first engagement, the first seriousness of like commitment of like into this group, right? They invest something, the time into this group. So I think this is super huge. So this is what I found as well. So hopefully this can help you guys out, which is like the webinar day. I think is a good reason why people come back here, and also breaking the ice, right? The break the ice post, and also the 2025 goal. And also, we noticed the same pattern of high activity during webinar days. And I think it's a good reason for them to back here to hang out for the hype as well, right? There are so much hype around the webinar day, people having fun. And then if you combo with some engagement posts during the webinar day, it's just like you spike everything, right? So for example, you go from like 200-300 to like 800-600, right, during the webinar time. So this is about the engagement. And then the paid group. So right now we are like 60 plus members right now, and then we kind of like on track to like our November goal of 100 people. So 60, right? The next week is like 80, and then 100. So hopefully you can go even more, or even if you don't hit a goal, I think we'll go far, right? Like I say, in the first week of me setting the goal, I was like, the goal was just 20 people. But then I changed the goal to 50. But then right now we are 60, right? Halfway through the month. So I changed the goal earlier in week 1 or something to 100. So hopefully we're on track to hit that. And then we also got a first churn as well, which is totally not because of the product, but just like random people, and they never engaged before. They never talk anything, they never post, never comment anything, just churn, which is fine. And then second churn, which is they actually ask for a refund, and then I do actually refund them. So what I did is that we actually have a cancellation video that you can actually put in. When people cancel, they're gonna like automatically see a video that you can rescue the sale. So we have that as well, but then it doesn't work. They still want to churn in this one case. And then I send them a personal loom as well, right? And I frame it that way of like a final confirmation, right? I confirm with you again to make sure that you really want to do it before I process it, right? And then I tell them they're like in a grandfather pricing because they join, when we're like at a lower price. Right now we increase the price. So we let them know that, if they want to rejoin again in the future, the price will be higher, right? So let them know about that. And then second point is that tell them what they're going to lose, right? They're going to lose the access to the community, the course, the Q&A, whatever, right? Whatever they're missing out. And then let them know, right? So in this case, right, this person, they reply me, okay, they confirm they still want to proceed with the cancellation. So I proceed a refund. I take a screenshot, show them, okay, done, refunded. And then I basically welcome him as well to like continue to engage like to a free community. I just link them back to a free community because I believe some people, they might need more time, right? Maybe they're not ready now, but then you never lose a person, right? If you do whatever you do good, right? For example, if you refuse to refund now, you're doing a bad business, you're ruining a reputation. So we do refund, so people will see that, right? They see that you're genuine, you are real, you actually honor the money back guarantee, right? Because there are a lot of people, they're very fishy, they never refund, they never honor the money back guarantee. But then if you do that, again, it gives a deep impression, right? People about you. They know that you are a good person to do business with. They build trust with you. And then they're still in the free group, right? So maybe in the future, they will upgrade. And by the next time when they upgrade, they're more serious right now compared to the first one because you treat them well. Okay, so that's the point here. So I just share with you like how can you possibly rescue the sale? And so how should you treat your members and your customers, right? Even if they decide to refund, how should you do it properly and not just leaving a bad taste to people? So the moment I refund him, I share it's just a totally different experience, right? You leave a good taste of the people, to continue to engage with you, to have a relationship with you, right? So I think that's a good place to do that. So I would like continue to seek what can I improve on like rescuing the sales because there's still like half a month in. So the churn is not going to happen now, but then it's going to happen next week. Next month and next month, right? Then we'll see how we can improve the retention, how we can rescue any sales, and how we can give a better experience to people so that in the future they might, do business with us again, right? So that's for the churn part. And then this one, new metric. I actually added this new metric here just the moment before I start hitting record, right? Because today, right, when I'm like plotting in the data for today, before I decided to record, then I just think like, what else should I want to put in there? Because I want to keep it very minimal, right? I want to just keep something essential there that really matters. And then I think like level 1 is very important. So how many people are in level 1? right? Because we want to see like how many people are engaging, they're investing in the group. So people are more likely to churn if they're like still level 1, they never post before. So I want to track like how many percentage that I get as we go on, right? Do we improve, or do we, not improving? So right now the free group is at 75% people in level 1, and then the paid group is at 41% people in level 1. So we are looking to improve that. But at the end of the day, you are not gonna get everybody to level up, right? And then it's a good thing. It's a normal thing. Like it's bound to happen that way. People sometimes they are just more comfortable to just lurking around, to like just go through the course without talking to anybody. I'm kind of like a lurker as well myself. So I think it's a normal thing that people will stay level 1, but then just that we try to improve the thing to like strike a balance, to have more people to engage, and so that they are more likely to upgrade, they're more likely to return and not churning out. So I think it's a good metric to track, right? Level 1%. So we're going to start tracking starting today. And also we added another paid to free metric as well. So I think these are the two things that I've added, right? The level 1% and the paid to free ratio. So we started to track that. So we started with like 0.5%, and then we slowly increasing 1, 2, 3, 4% right now. So we are tracking how many paid members we have over the free members. So right now it's at 4 point something percent. So I think it's a pretty healthy one, and I think it's much higher. So I am expecting this one to be dropping as we grow the group, because we already have some warm member in there, maybe some existing customer in there, they upgrade. So that's why the number is higher. And then it's a more warmer audience. As we grow, as we tapping the colder audience, I'm expecting this one to drop. So I'm kind of like looking at somewhere around 2% or something. And also it depends on the price point, right? So right now it's at $49 a month. So I think 3-4%, okay, is good. As much as high as possible, right? But then 3-4% I think is a good benchmark. And I think as we increase our price and as we grow and tapping into colder audience, I think having 2% plus is a good, is a good benchmark. So we're continuing to track that as well. And then I think what else, right? So let's talk about my feeling, all right, the recent these few days, because like a lot of things happening here. So again, I added this column of thoughts, right? So I can share with you what do I think about, in a day-to-day basis. So in let's say 12th of November, right? So it's actually we did our first Q&A call of the paid members. So by that time, I think we have around let's say 36 something members. So we have around 14-15 people, like almost half of them, like I would say like 40% of them actually jump on the first Q&A call, and it was very lively. The overall energy, the vibes are so good. I have so much fun. The call was supposed to be an hour, and we ran through an hour and 45 minutes, right? Almost 2 hours. People love it so much. Everybody love it, right? People comment, after the replay, they like love it so much, right? So the energy was so good. I have so much fun doing the Q&A call. So that's my the takeaway for me for that day. And also I was starting to think about the idea for the next webinar, right? Because previously we just done a webinar here. Okay, we done a webinar, right? And then here we are almost gonna be the next week's webinar, right? So I'm just thinking, how can I put it? And I feel more stressed, right? Because I have quite a good results from the previous one, which I kind of like do it in a carefree way. I just did it because the first time I don't do perfectionist. I just like randomly throw it out there. I was like, I'm surprised, I thought I could get like 2 or 3 sales something, but then I was like almost 20 sales in 2 days. So it was such a surprise for me, and it sets an expectation for me. I hope that I can replicate the success. So I kind of have think about this a lot, and I kind of like really serious about it, and it adds some sort of stress for me as well. Like I try to hit the same results or even better results, right? So it's a different experience and emotion compared to the first one. The first one, you have zero expectation. You just kind of like do it in a random way, and then you get good results. And then the second one, you kind of like, I gotta be good, right? And you then feel more stress when you want to perform something, right? So that's what was my thoughts, and how can I package it in a way, and again, give people a reason to buy, right? The bonus, and it's all about the offer, right? The bonus had to be good to give them people to buy on a webinar. So that's what I'm thinking about. And then as the day passed, right, I'm kind of like, the normal day without the webinar is usually 1, 2, 3, 4 sales, right? So you can see here, it's quite stable, 1, 2, 3, 4 sales. And we are doing all these sales through DM or auto upgrading. So it's about either directly I DM them and they buy right away. And also, secondly, which is I DM them in the past, but let's say they didn't buy 5 days, 7 days ago, then they auto buy, themselves, right? They auto buy it when I was like asleep or something. And so the third scenario, which is maybe they just they're lurking around the course or something, they click around the classroom, they go through the first week of the masterclass, then they upgrade by themselves, right? So it's either DM on the spot, close, or like DM before and close somewhere, or like just randomly baseline, upgrade themselves, right? From the course or something. So it has been wavering around 1, 2, 3, 4 sales. So far, we still haven't have a zero yet, which is, I'm kind of grateful for that, right? Hopefully we don't have any zero moving forward. So it's kind of like waving around 1, 2, 3, 4 sales. And then during the webinar, we have like a spike again. So I want to talk a little about the webinar. So on this day here, I can see the patterns, right? The 7-day basis pattern. So because of me plotting out this data, I can kind of see, okay, we are growing at about, 300 plus something members a week, right? So the last 7 days conversion, right? So we are growing at about 300 free members. And then for the paid, right, we're growing about roughly 30, 20, 30 something, right? So again, this gives me a good estimation and a prediction. So I can roughly tell, okay, let's say I have 300 people, 300 free members, and then I'm getting around 30 people in to paid. So maybe this could be like 20 or something, right? So I can roughly know the ratio, the paid to free ratio, and then I can kind of predict my this month MRR growth or something, right? So I think it's a good pattern to observe as well. So you have a rough idea of like what rate are you growing? For me, I'm growing at a 300 free members per week, and then for paid members, around 20 or 30 per week. So that gives you a predictability to a business and a rough idea as to what's a baseline and then how can you improve on the baseline, right? So this is what I thought, using the last 7 days as a basis to predict. And then I wouldn't able to do this unless I have the data like this, right? I track them and I actually study and analyze them, right? And then I actually do the work, right? So that I have some data, some real world feedback. So if you're not doing anything, you wouldn't see anything, right? And then you start doing. And if you do the thing, but then you never track, then you couldn't analyze. So you gotta like do the thing and then analyze, look back, and then form a pattern, and then continue to study on that, right? Track on that and how to improve that. So if you didn't measure, you wouldn't improve, right? So that's what I'm thinking about. And then also curious about the second webinar performance. I kind of become more and more perfectionism, right? I try to think about this way, this angle, this bonus, and I change so many times, so many versions throughout the week before the webinar actually hits. And actually the bonus that we actually give up in the webinar is I just changed that the day before, like the night before. So I changed so much, right? So it just say that, I've been thinking about the bonus, changing, right? So all my mind was like the webinar, right? Because as I'm going through the day, right, I'm just closing 1 or 2, 1 or 3, 4. So it's like, I cannot hit my goal this month if I just go on to this rate. I need a spike. Every week I need a spike for the webinar. So I got to perform, I got to convert for the webinar. So I put quite a lot of thinking and thoughts about like throughout the week for the webinar thing. And I think it's very important. And then we also hit a 2K MRR here. And then, this is the webinar day, right? This is a big day, like where webinar happens. And then we got only 4 sales. And for the context, right, I actually got 2 sales before the webinar happens. And then when I wake up like a full half a day, the webinar run for full half a day, there's like only 2 sales, another 2 sales made, right? So it's like only 4 sales for the day, and maybe 2 sales only coming from the webinar, or even 1 or 2 sales. Like I thought the webinar tanks on the first day. I was like so down, so depressed, like this one is like 7 and 12, like almost like 20 sales. And then this one is like 2 sales. It's like 110 on the previous one. I was like, I put in so much thoughts. I worked so hard, so much more compared to the first one, and it tanks. It's like an emotional roller coaster, right? And it's a huge contrast to my expectation. I was like, I'm hoping to get at least 10, 20 sales or something, and I got 2. Such a huge contrast. And then I just tell myself, I need more time. I need to build a momentum, right? Because I'm guessing why it tanks is because previously, the reason why it converts is because I'm just putting out this new offer, right? So I've already an existing loyal followers who are already ready to buy. So that's why the first time I put up this offer, they convert right away because I already have this asset that I have, these existing warm members. And then I'm guessing, right, the reason why I cannot get sales right now is because I don't have enough prospect coming in, right? The new fresh blood coming in, right? So I've done reaping up the reward that I planted the seed previously, so I got it here, right, from the previous effort that I have. So right now, the reason why I cannot convert more is because I'm not planting enough seed yet. So I need more time. I need more momentum to build up that. And people might not buy right now. Maybe they might buy, they might buy next week or like next month or something. So I'm telling myself, right, I'm telling to like give excuse to myself, like, okay, don't feel sad. Be calm down and like, okay, this is bound to happen. This is just the beginning of the journey. So chill out. Okay, 2 sales is fine. Even though you got 20 sales last week, chill out. You need more time. You need more momentum, right? You need to continue stirring the pot. You need to continue providing value. You need to continue planting the seed, right? So that's what I'm telling myself. So the day passed. And then the next day, I got 11 sales So it just bombed. I never thought about it. I just thought it was a gone case. That's all. 2 sales is done. Let's focus on the next week. But then it happens. So what I did, right? I did the reminder, right? So I did the scarcity spots reminder. So we actually opened up like 10 spots for the bonus, and I actually do the scarcity reminder. Like we got these few spots left, right? And then people just flock in, right, after the scarcity. Again, people need a reason to buy. People love your thing, they love your message, they want to buy, but then they're like, let's do it next time. So you gotta push people for a little bit, right? So if you trust your product, you know that you're helping people, you're providing value, it's your obligation to sell, right? You're gonna like push them a little bit. So many people that push them, they got in, they're like, thank you so much, Branson. Thank you so much. This is the best thing I ever have. I've joined so many paid programs. This is the best thing ever. They wouldn't have this experience and transformation if I didn't push them, right? So it's huge, right? So I did this scarcity thing. So sometimes just tell me once again, sometimes people, they don't buy right now. It doesn't mean that there's no buyer, they don't buy. They might need more time. Maybe they need another 6 hours. They need another 1 day, they need another 1 week, 1 month, they need another push, they need another reminder, they need another follow-up. It's just one action away of like pushing them, of taking the action that they're supposed to take, right? So again, this is a reminder for everybody. So if you get no sales right now, you have still a lot of action to be taken, right? So I basically rescue myself, right? I got 2 sales here. So I tell myself, don't give up. I'm planting a seed. I need more time. I need to do something. So I try to do that, and then boom, we close out like 11 sales on the next day. It is huge, right? So again, like the sales is like coming from the scarcity, right? The last few hours or whatever. So, and I noticed the patterns, right? There are a lot of people who buy, and they just convert without me DM closing them. They just buy, upgrade automatic by themselves. But the thing is that I actually spoken before with almost all of them. So some of them, they're like, I might buy next week. I'm not ready right now. So they never buy when I DM them. So again, the seed that I'm getting here, the sales that I'm getting here, you might think that, okay, it's a webinar. But then I'm telling you, it's the effort they're putting here, all this period here. But they didn't buy. But then this time, I give them a reason to buy right now. Okay, so they buy now. So again, the attribution shouldn't just go into the webinar. I'm seeing this as a combo, right? The DM, the course, the community, plus the webinar, like all these things, they're like a combo. They work together of nurturing them. You're planting the seed. And then when the time is ready, right, they turn into sales, right? They turn into like customers. So I think this is super important, right? I spoke with them. They didn't buy, but then they buy now. So it's a huge observation that I have. And the webinar is like a stirring the pot. You're stirring the pot, right? They are not ready now, but then you're continuing stirring. Then some of them, they buy. And then you're reaping what you sow, right? You're planting all the seeds all this while, and then you're reaping them right now. You give them a reason to buy. And it's all about the offer. This is huge. It's all about the offer. You're going to give them people reason to buy now, right? Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Okay. And I wouldn't have made 90% of these sales without the free group. So I have to stress this enough. Like, I regret of starting this free group like too late right now in November 2024. I should have started this last year. I would have grown so much right now. So again, all these sales wouldn't have happened. So imagine if I just sell them, people would say no. Maybe I'll get like 0.5% conversion. I'm losing out 99.5% of the money. So like I said, even though I have a free group, I still need so many touch points to like get the sales, right? Imagine that. I need so many touch points until they buy. So imagine you don't even have all of this. You don't have the free group, you don't have the course, you don't have the DM, you don't have the webinar. You have nothing and just like buy now. Like I'm getting like 60 members right now. I think if I just to tell them, hey, buy now, I'm probably having like 5 now. 6. I don't know. Like I will get 110 or like 120 of this. And it's just a no-brainer having a free group. So this is my observation, right? Number 1 is that you got to get people a reason to buy. You got to give them people a reason to buy. And then you are planting the seed, right? Every time you didn't get a sale right now, you're planting the seed, right? People will come back if you continue to stir the pot, provide value, and then give them a reason to buy. And then again, you got to hit them a different angle. Maybe this week webinar, this angle, they don't buy. Next week, another angle. Next week, another angle. And then follow up DM again. Okay, maybe they buy now. Right? Maybe they got a new paycheck right now. Maybe they're committed. Oh, I want to change my life today, starting today. Like people make different decisions. Or maybe they're just distracted by the dog, by the spouse. They need follow-up, right? So follow up with them with DM, do a weekly webinar, remind them, give them a reason to buy. And also you're planting a seed and you need a free group, right? So I can't stress that enough. So that is that. So what else? This one. Okay, new DM script. So actually here, right, I started DM like, try a new kind of like DM script. So basically like give them a choice. Like I saw one of the Alex Hormozy's video, like a shorts about like people go to yogurt shop, right? They go on and they buy something, right? They pick their own ingredient for the yogurt, and then they go and wait, and then they're like, oh my gosh, so expensive. Sorry, I think it's a wrong story. I think it's another way around. It's just like, okay, they order a yogurt, right? They pick that yogurt, and then they come out, it's like, okay, it's a very small portion. I was like, oh, why so expensive? They feel like it's expensive because you do it for them, and then they kind of blame it on you. But then if they go on and pick the ingredient themselves, right, and then they wait, and then they feel like, okay, maybe I'm taking too much, I'm too fat, I'm picking too much, that's why it's so expensive. Because right now they do it themselves, right? They're picking the ingredient themselves, and then they go and buy, even though it's expensive, but then it's on them. The responsibility is on them. They won't blame you for like the high price, right? So that's from Alex Hormozi's shots. And I got this inspiration of like, maybe I can implement that in my DM. So in the past, right, so once I go through the script and like connect with them and like warming them up and understand more about them, the pain and the problem, whatever, then usually I just extend an invitation to them, like, do you want to join this? That I can help you. I just ask them, do you want to join? So I do get a lot of conversion as well, but then it's not pressure enough to give people a reason to buy now. Again, people are not painful enough. And also people are not picking their own choice. So I did this format that I learned from Alex Hormozi's short, and I implement in my own DM script for my case, which is I let them to choose, right? Do you want a course? Do you want a one-on-one coaching? Do you want a Q&A call? I give them different elements, right? Different features of your product. So I let them to choose, right? Which one do you want? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You can tell me any numbers or all. So people telling me, like, I want 1, 3, 5. I want 2, 4. I want 1, 3. So in that way, number one, you get a survey of like what people actually value the most in your product. So a lot of times our products are kind of bloated, right? We add in so many things overwhelming, people churn, and then you are doing so much effort of like giving something that people don't actually want, right? So you don't know what they want, right? So by doing this, you kind of can know, okay, what mostly, right, in general, what are your prospects, what they're looking for. So you're getting this valuable information there. And secondly, you can know what this person specifically they are looking for. Maybe they are looking for the course. Maybe they're looking for one-on-one coaching, right? What do they want? Then you can give them what they want, right? And they pick it themselves. So right now, if let's say they're picking, I want a one-on-one coaching, I want a course. So they pick it themselves, right? Then I tell them, okay, this is the link to join. They're like, they see the price, okay, I picked that. I was looking for one-on-one coaching. Oh, okay, it's fair enough, that price. They pick it themselves, right? They have a freedom of doing that themselves. So it's on them. So that's super huge. And so you get the specific information of what they want. Then you can target, right? The way you respond to them will be different because you know what they want right now. Maybe this person is all about, I want a course, I want a video. I'm shy, I don't want to go on Q&A call. And just attack the video, right? Tell them this is what they get. So you can very pinpoint what they want. And also you get the survey of like, what they matters the most in the program. Maybe when you give a choice of them, right, 1 to 5, and then after you ask you for 30 people, nobody picked number 4 ever. Like, that's the reason why you should just remove the number 4 in your program. You don't need that. Nobody like that. So I think this is super powerful. Pick a choice. So this is like a change in my DMM script. And also the commit and accept it. So in the past, I just asked them like, do you want to join this? I asked them. I extend an invitation. So it's a more polite way. It's a less stress, less pressure kind of way to like convert. But then right now I try another way as well. Like I'm just testing out, like to ask them for a commitment. Ask them like, I don't probably accept anybody because I want people who are serious. They want to like go all in. They want to commit, right? So that way they can self-select themselves, right? So if they're not ready, they don't go in. But then if they're ready, you make them to have a commitment. They say, yes, I want to invest. Then when you drop them the link, they're more likely to buy through the price. So you get a commitment and then again, it's good, right? You are firing them out. Again, you want to like tune up the pain level, right? The fire in them. So if they're like, okay, nothing, they're like not serious right now, they're not super 100% commitment, the level is low, right? It's cold. So you want to like tune up the fire, right? Increase the pain, increase the problem, get them to have a commitment, get them to say yes. And by the time when you drop the link, they're more likely to buy, right? So getting the commitment, getting them like, you are accepted to join this, right? And I don't take in everybody because if you're serious, please don't join. Don't waste my time. I don't want to waste your time either. So when you kind of like reject people a little bit, you push them a little bit, they are more likely to even want to join in, right? Because, people can feel a desperation, right? If you're desperate for something, right? Oh, please join, please come here. People can feel that. It's not that attractive. But then it's like, this is a standard that we have. We want you to win, and only if you're committed, then you join. If not, don't waste our time. Then people know that you're serious, or you want win for them. Then they're more likely to like they'll give them the reason to buy themselves, right? They're like, I'm committed. I'll do this. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll change my life, right? They self-selling themselves in, right? So I think this is super powerful. This is another new DM thing that we tried out. So I think pretty much we cover a lot of stuff, right? It's almost more than 40 minutes right now. So again, just a quick note is that We hit 2K MRR, almost 3K, and then we continue. Hopefully the next week we can drive out the sales to the next webinar as well. But then I'm kind of worried because I'm going to attend a friend's wedding. I'm going outstation, so I might not be active to like closing a DM and also like responding and engaging the community. So I'm also wondering what would that affect what's happening next week and also this month. So let's see if we can achieve the goal of this month, having 100 paid members or even more. See how it goes, and then if see any other new metrics that we have, right? So thanks again for tuning in on this episode, like watching this super long video here. I hope that you learned something, and if you have any questions, let me know. Or if you are watching, you have been catching episode 1 to 3, let me know as well if you're following me through. And if you want to learn something else, any questions, let me know as well in a comment. So I'll see you guys around in episode number 4. All right, peace out.